TIFU by telling my coworkers how to make a shiv. I got hired for a new job recently. It's a bit of a dream job, working as a behavioral health tech at a psychiatrist hospital. I'm going to college for a major in social work and a minor psychology later this year, so this job is kinda perfect, especially since they have a program that will help pay for my college. The benefits are fantastic, pay is good, hours are great, and the best part of all, it's a hospital that has a reputation for legitimately trying to help their patients, often discounting costs of stays and helping people have stable support when they are discharged so they can help more of the community. I spent a lot of my childhood and teen years in the troubled teen industry. I have severe ADHD and depression, so seeing a facility that treats their patients like people and legitimately care was so nice. Yesterday was my first day, and I went in super early for a very long day of training. I was in a class with 2 other people, a behavioral health tech like me, and a registered nurse. Throughout the day, we met all the department heads as well as the CEO and CFO, who were all very nice and very passionate about their work. It took a few minutes, but she didn't fire me on the spot. She actually says me having this history in the system and knowing this stuff is very useful, but I'm still mortified cause I've basically dropped my mental health history and made myself seem like I make improvised weapons all the time, which is super embarrassing. TLDR, I explained to my new co-workers how a shiv was made, then continued to word vomit. You just showed you're an absolute expert on stuff they have no clue about. That's of vital importance to the facility and the team. Now you just have to work on your presentation. TED Talk this shit next time. Based on your description, I think you have demonstrated exactly why you're right for the job, with relevant knowledge and experience too. I wouldn't give the whole thing a second thought. The ADHD impulse to info dump turned up to 11 with a bit of rejection sensitivity mixed in for good measure. Congratulations on the job. Dude, you're fine. The best person to have for the job is someone who has been in the situation before. You have first-hand knowledge about what the people in your care go through. A huge portion of people who go into psych do so because of poor treatment they've had in the system. I wouldn't sweat it, you are not alone. It's also not your fault that you were subjected to the troubled teen industry. That stuff is tantamount to kidnapping. 15 million Americans have ADHD. There is no justification for what you were subjected to, and the fact that you are surviving on the outside is testament to your strength of character. NGL, you might be looking at some sort of promotion in the long run. Having this experience is super valuable, and you clearly are not in the same spot now. You didn't fuck up. If they judge you, they judge you. Ignore that. You're there to help people and you're suited for the job based on prior experience. Hats off to you, dude. I saw it on the internet. You didn't fuck up. But, kid, not to be a Debbie Downer, but your own mental health takes precedence, okay? If you feel that the work is starting to wear on your own mental health, get out. Social work is not an easy job. You'll deal with a lot of shitty situations and sad things, and you don't want to mess up your own health trying to help others. Okay? Pay attention when you're interning. If you go through with this, make sure you take care of your own mental health first. That sort of work can put people without mental illness into a bad mental state, and you gotta protect yourself. That was not a fuck up. You just proved to everyone that you are a resource for information that no one else has. You made yourself a more valued employee. Psychologist and psych professor here. My favorite tech ever taught me how to make wine in a toilet and how to construct a tattoo gun from a cassette recorder and ballpoint pen. Maybe don't advertise your MH history, especially to patients, but I'm sure you'll be great. In the field you're going into, something you'll learn is that lived experience is thin on the ground, and good practitioners will basically bite your hand off to learn from you as you have insights from both sides of the desk. Wear your history on your sleeve. Any workplace where it's not to your advantage is not prioritizing best practice. Now I really want to know how to make the shiv. Working on inpatient units, many co-workers have correctional facility work backgrounds. The populations unfortunately overlap. Therefore, it is not uncommon to know what items can be made into a shiv. There's no reason you would get fired for this. They were staring with you, not at you. So what you're saying is that you have first-hand knowledge about behavior and activities that need to be monitored to ensure the safety of your co-workers and clients. Nothing to feel bad about. If they ask, just say I've been in their shoes, and I want to help them to the best of my ability. You have a unique insight into all this stuff and can leverage to not only be good at your job, but to help people. If this organization is what you believe it is, they will see that and you will flourish. If they hold your past against you, it's obvious you are in the wrong place. I did something very similar, but I showed my co-workers how to tie a proper noose. Didn't know one of the guys had recently found out his brother stepped into traffic earlier that week. You've just solidified your spot on the apocalypse survival team. I have wetted people at a workplace and I can promise you, carrying heavy ballast is more common than not when you're grown up. We are all just experts in keeping it out of polite conversation. When I had a blushing, cringing person there telling me their life's lowest points, my main answer was to answer with my own or give them anonymous examples of true and similar happenings. Knowing you're not alone and maybe getting a hug helps a lot. And now your bosses know what to look out for more than they ever did before, and can perform their job of keeping people safe while they stabilize more effectively. Well done. That's not a fuck up, my friend, you just made yourself an asset. The old toothbrush razor blade special, eh? You should confide in her about your anxiety over this incident. I guarantee she will tell it's no big deal and not to worry and that she appreciates your input. That would be the fastest way to set your mind at ease. If I were your trainer, you would have just jumped straight to the top of the "this employee is going places" list. Not only did you give your employer helpful information in overcoming these kinds of hurdles, but you also demonstrated a personal connection and interest in your field of work. A med employee who wants a paycheck is good. A med employee who sees themselves in their patients is priceless. Knowledge is power and using it for good isn't to F you. May you always bring compassion, understanding, and wisdom to your job. If you were on my team, I'd be asking to tap into your experiences to make the place safer for staff and patients alike. Your co-workers are now slightly afraid of you. This is an absolute win. Lmao. I'm a recovered addict working in treatment and I have definitely said some things that seem normal to me, but my normal co-workers are like, flushed face, flushed face, flushed face. Making improvised weapons is a good skill to have. Good job. TIFU by calling my cellmates co-workers. Well, you guys are clearly ready for when a clicker shows up. I want to know about the shivs though. Just don't tell 'em how to make a fi-fi bra. Shit could go left.